screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, terrific. Okay, so for all of you business owners and for those of you who are working for a company and you need more exposure, you need more business, you need to position yourself as an expert in your space, there are a whole bunch of opportunities to do so organically, meaning with non-paid strategies, as well as some paid strategies that aren't terribly expensive. And I want to share them with you and some of the fantastic opportunities that are there for us. Okay, so organic, as I mentioned. So there are a bunch of organic lead generation tactics. I just want to take a step back and say our agency, even though we're a full service digital marketing agency, our area of expertise is lead generation. And we're privileged to work with some of the biggest brands in the business, generating hundreds of thousands of qualified leads. So I'm not saying this from a place of, this is coming from a place of tremendous experience, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, so there's a tremendous opportunity to have digital visibility. Many of you probably have websites, and there's an opportunity for you to optimize your website. I'm just curious, how many of you are currently optimizing your site? If you can raise your hand, that would be helpful. Okay, great. One or two of you, great. For the rest of you, you have this incredible, I want to tell you a story. Yesterday, I got a phone call from a massive organization, Israeli based. How did they find me? Because they Googled digital lead generation Israel. That's how they found me. And now I'm submitting a proposal to them. Don't you want to have the same opportunity for your business? Absolutely. So the first thing you need to do is you need to optimize your website for relevant keywords. Now there's two excellent tools in order for you to do that. Actually, because I have the privilege of sitting at my desk today, I mean, privilege, I don't know, but it's going to give me the opportunity to go back and forth. Okay. So let me show you what I mean. I'm just going to open up SEMrush. There's an excellent tool called SEMrush. It has a free and paid, here, I'll go here. It has a free and paid facility, but even if you do the free version, you can still get plenty of information. It just means you have to sort of go back in every day. Or totally for free, you can use a tool called the Google Ad keyword tool, which is free. The only caveat is that you do need to have a Google Ad account, but you can even create a fake one just so that you can do SEO research, okay? So let's say I'm a digital marketing agency and I want to optimize my website for that keyword. So I might Google the term digital marketing, okay? Wow, that's fantastic. In the US, there's 60,000 searches for that keyword, but isn't that too broad, right? Anybody searching for help on digital marketing might search that term, but if you hone in on something more relevant or long-tailed, that's the term used, then you can focus in on those users that are searching for actively searching for a term like digital marketing agency. Now, what's cool about this term? I work in the U.S. and in Israel, and we also rank for the term digital lead generation in New York. So it's not just an Israeli thing. So you do have the opportunity to expand your business, but even if you focus just on Israel, which is a very nice market, there's plenty of work to be had. There's still some search volume on that particular keyword. So your job is to find those keywords that are relevant for your business. Now, if you aren't technically savvy, then you may need a programmer to help you, okay? Because we have to add metadata to your website. Hold on one sec. I'm just going to go back to, I'm going to try and toggle back to, here we go. Okay. To each individual page has to have a keyword optimized on that page, meaning my homepage could be optimized for digital lead generation agency Israel. And then when I go to my services pages, each page needs to have its own opportunity for keyword optimization, and you can rank for those. Okay, so I strongly, strongly urge you to set this up. If you need more information about how to do so, feel free to reach out and message me, okay? The second thing you want to do is you want to set up something called Google Analytics. Google Analytics simply will showcase to you who is visiting your site and how users are visiting your site. Are they coming from social channels? Are they coming through paid activities? How are they getting to you? Are they coming through organic traffic? Okay, so this is an excellent must-have tool if you really are serious about using your website as a tool for marketing. And there's also, just for anyone who is sort of more, more comfortable with technology, there's an excellent tool called Google Search Console. This is a more advanced tool. But what's fabulous about it is it gives you very deep information about the health of your website, the physical health of your website, as well as fantastic opportunities for keyword ranking information, which you do not get in Google Analytics. You used to, you no longer, and so Google Search Console is the tool, and it's super robust. You also have to make sure that your site speed is really healthy, because over the last 2 years, Google has made it very clear that only those sites that have excellent page speed, both on desktop and mobile, are going to rank well. In fact, if you have 2 websites with exactly the same content, but one has a higher page site speed than the other, that site is going to rank first. Okay. Some other quick important tricks. The other thing that Google really cares about is that your site is secure, because it's all about the user experience. They want the user to have the easiest, cleanest, safest experience possible. So they want to make sure your site is HTTPS. The S is, it's not for safety, I can't secure. The S is for secure. And if your site doesn't have the S, you need to speak to your programmer ASAP, your developer, to add a secure facility to your site. Okay, this will help you rank. The other piece that will help you rank is something called an XML sitemap. These are technical terms, very easy to generate this. If you're using WordPress, there are WordPress plugins to help you with this. By the way, when you're doing your keyword research, if you're using WordPress, there's one fantastic plugin called Yoast. It's the world's most utilized SEO plugin. And it creates a place for you to add your keywords. The term for adding your keywords into your website is called metadata. So your website will have a title tag, which is the main tag for each page. Your meta description, I'll show you what that means in just a second, which describes what people are going to see on the page. An alt tag, which is for images. So there's lots and lots of opportunities for you to optimize your site. So I'm just gonna toggle back and forth as I was doing before. I wanna show you something. So let's say I'm in the real estate space, real estate Israel, okay? Just so you understand what I'm talking about. Here's Remax Israel. So this line here is your title tag. This is your meta description, okay? Now we're gonna talk about something else. So while I've got you here, I'm gonna show you. Is how many of you are familiar with what's called a Google My Business listing? Jaco, I can't see everybody's hands, but okay, Jason knows. Okay, well done, Jason. Okay, so Google gives you all sorts of presents, okay? And probably one of the best presents Google can give you is something called your Google My Business listing. Whoops, sorry. Let me go back. So this is Sunhouse's Google My Business listing. Basically, it's a secondary opportunity to drive organic traffic to your business. Now it's its own unique sort of like mini site. It's a mini hub. And it drives a ton of organic traffic, okay? This could be almost as essential as your own website's organic traffic. And sometimes I have clients where their Google My Business listing, especially if they're like a physical location where customers can come in, like a large retail chain or any large physical location, this can bring a ton of traffic. So all you need to do is Google My Business, and there's a link in this presentation to take you there, okay? Where you include all your business details, you offer up a local number, you make sure that you offer up something called NAP information. What's NAP information? It's name, address, phone number. you make sure that the name and the address and the phone number in your Google My Business listing is exactly the same as your website listing, okay? And any other local listings, like if you're in, forgive me for using American terms, but you know, the local yellow pages or any local listings, you wanna make sure your NAP info is exactly the same. It also gives you an opportunity to choose the best categories for your business, to add those same keywords that you added to your site into your business description. It also gives you an opportunity to upload images and videos and testimonials and awards, certifications, and most importantly, reviews, okay? If you have lots, and you know, let me just say, I don't do a ton of business in Israel, so local reviews are not that important for me, okay? So if you see my very, very, very poorly rated agency in Israel, you'll know why, because I don't spend any time optimizing my own account for reviews. I'm busy optimizing my clients' accounts for reviews. But if you're a local-based business, this is a must. The other thing that you're able to do is you're able to post on your Google My Business listing. There's actually like a social element here. And if you do all of these things as a local business, if you add reviews and you post, and you really make sure your account is fully optimized based on all the information we suggest here, you're gonna rank really well over time, okay? And you're gonna get a lot of traffic. Just to give you a sense of how you optimize your account for keywords, when you're describing your company, make sure you include those keywords that are gonna be important for you. So for me, it's digital marketing, it's lead generation, SEO, PPC, CRO, social marketing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what you want to do. Any questions before I go on? Okay.
I have a question, if I may.
Sure.
For small business, like, for example, I work in a software company, and, you know, we are 12 coders, and only, like, when we sign a contract, it's like a big thing, you know, to be doing continuous work for a company. It takes a lot of hours. And so, is this more a system like SEO for customers, or like a business that is selling a service to customers, or could this be more used for B2B?
I use it for B2B, and I have lots and lots of clients who use it for B2B. I believe that it was created for a B2C experience, but you can totally utilize it for B2B, and it's effective. Okay, so if your customers are local, are they local customers, Jason?
Some are local and some are international, but yeah, we deal mostly with local startups.
Okay, so specifically this is really a tool for local businesses. If you're not focusing on Israel and you don't really care about Israel, don't bother. Okay, just optimize your website. But if you are looking for local business, absolutely, 100%. Okay, any other questions? Okay. I'm sure you've had lots of questions.
Sure. Not a question, but when you asked about optimizing our website, I raised my hand just because I'm working on optimizing our website. We are totally not there yet.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you want some advice or direction, let me know. I'd be happy to give you some consulting time for free because you're a member of this fantastic group. So just let me know. Okay, there's so many other opportunities for organic, and I'm sure you've had lots of conversations about LinkedIn. I know some of you were fantastic on LinkedIn and fantastic on other social networks too. I'm thinking of 2 people individually here, but I won't embarrass them. You should be optimizing your profile, okay? You have tremendous opportunity in LinkedIn to make your profile shine and to get picked up by LinkedIn's algorithm also for the business vertical that you're in. So there's a number of things you need to do, okay? And I'll run through them quickly, and I'm gonna use my profile for what it's worth as an example. You wanna make sure that you leverage your headline. Rather than just saying Fran Jacubowicz, CEO, Sunhouse Marketing, right? I can add content to my headline. I can say, you know, I generate hundreds of thousands of leads and millions of dollars in sales for my clients, or whatever. I forget what I said actually, but something like that. You can add content to A, stand out, but B, make sure that your content is optimized so you get picked up by machine learning from LinkedIn. And I think this is a no-brainer, but still I'm often like jaw-dropped by the stupid pictures people post on their LinkedIn profile. You want to look professional. This is not where you're showing your camping pictures. This is not where you're showing your, you know, I love you, darling pictures. This is your wear your suit and tie, you know, power jacket pictures. Look professional, okay? Because people are checking. And by the way, if you do not have a LinkedIn photo, more people will pass you by, will not engage with your profile simply because you didn't put a profile. Okay, that's how important it is. And I'm meaning real people pictures. I don't want to see cute little emojis or emoticons or placeholders, okay? You also want to make sure that actually in your profile, not just in the contact information space, but in your description, you're making it super easy for people to find you. So you're adding your email address and your phone number in your business description, okay? And to make your account stand out even more, you're adding media to your profile. You're following people in your industry. You're asking all your clients for recommendations. You're joining groups and you're posting and sharing and engaging in those groups, okay? And then you're creating a LinkedIn article. So I'm just gonna toggle again. And, you know, Helena, you tell me when I need to stop talking and I'll just stop, okay? Because you know me, I love to talk.
We have time.
Okay, so let me go to my profile. Let me make this larger. Again, it's not like my the be all and end all of fantastic profiles, but I just want to show you a couple things, okay? First of all, if you can add a banner, if you can add like, you know, some visual content up here to make your profile stand out, great. Profile picture should be somewhat professional. Your headline, this is my headline. Oh, so I'm right, that's exactly what I wrote, okay? And then I add lots of attachments to my profile. I have a backgrounder, I have video from a recent, before COVID, a recent speaking gig, my case studies. And by the way, I can't tell you how many people say, you know, the reason I'm calling you is because I read your case studies and I was, you know, I'm happy with your work and I'd like to, you know, engage with you, or I watched your video. So I'm not saying this to drive you crazy. Show off if you, you know, if you can, if you have those, if you don't work to get those assets. The other thing is testimonials, okay? I realize I haven't done one since March. So, you know, like, you know, I'm sort of like the shoemaker who has no shoes, but hey, I do try. And what do? I reach out to my clients, I ask them for testimonials, okay? And often they're so busy, they're busy CEOs or they're busy business owners, and they simply don't have time to write them themselves. So I'm giving you a tip. Say, would you like me to write one for you? Would you like me to write one for you? And you can edit it. And they always say yes, because everyone's busy. Nobody has the time to just sit and write a testimonial. So get your client, give your client the edge and write the testimonial, and they'll edit it or they'll say it looks great. So now you know the truth about Fran Jacubowicz and all her testimonials, okay? Now the other thing is, the other present you get in LinkedIn is the ability to position yourself as an expert by writing an article. Who here has written a LinkedIn article? Raise your hand. Helena, great. Devora Gutty, excellent, well done. For those of you who haven't done it, this is like such an easy freebie, okay? You have an area in LinkedIn which works kind of like a WordPress page, blog page, where you simply need to, it's drag and drop, just plunk in an image, plunk in your headline, and cut and paste your content. Now I want to give you some tips. Let's go to a recent article. You know, just like any image, if you have the bandwidth, add a photo, because any content on any social network that has visuals attached to it is going to perform much better than without. But the thing I wanted to show you is, and optimize, add those keywords in there, okay? But at the end, always add what we call in my business a boilerplate. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Fran Jacubowicz is blah, 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 and link back to your website. Don't worry if you don't have a website, link back to your business, Google My Business listing. That's also fine. Okay, but link back. Don't let the fact that you don't yet have a website hold you back. Okay? Any questions?
Yeah, I'll ask a question about what you just spoke about, Fran. Okay, so the best way to, when you do have an article, the best way to, you know, feature it, I've seen people say, you know, here's my latest article, and then put a link to the article. How would you introduce that article on your post?
Well, you just raised such a good point that I forgot to mention. Okay, so first of all, you know, everybody's got their style and their vibe. And, you know, forgive me for stereotyping, but often women business owners in particular feel very uncomfortable about showing off. Okay, but this is the time to show off a little bit. Okay, talk as an expert, talk with intelligence, introduce by saying, I've got something here that's going to be really, really valuable for you. Okay, and introduce the topic. Now, and that in itself positions you as an expert. Now, let's say you want your article to get picked up in other groups. Then what you need to do is you need to add hashtags to your article. Okay, you want to, who is familiar with LinkedIn hashtags? Deborah, you know, it's kind of awkward because I can't see everybody, but let me just see, sorry, raise hands again, whoever uses hashtags. Okay, and hello, of course you do. Let's just jump back to LinkedIn. So let me go here. So let me just see if I could just show you a post with hashtags in it.
Moises will have used
Shame on
hashtags.
them. Pardon?
Moises here probably will have used hashtags.
Yes, he uses hashtags all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's our mutual friend Moises Zach, and he is wanting to get in front of people who are tagging UAE, Israel, who want to get in front of, they want to start doing business with the UAE. They want to talk about finance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what he's doing is he is utilizing hashtags. So I just want to show you, if you put in hashtag UAE Israel, okay, LinkedIn will tell you what the value of that hashtag is. Actually, in this particular case, it's not that wowsome yet, but it may build over time. But you know, if you did startup Israel, let's say. It's not that impressive either. Let's do startup. Sorry guys, when you share screens, it's slower. Yeah. Okay, so then you can see, wow, almost 1 million people are following this hashtag startup. So what you need to do, it's very easy. Just go into this section and do a search for those hashtags that are going to be most relevant for you. Now, if you're really like, you're completely unsure, then follow very active LinkedIn users in your space to see what they're using. Over time, you'll get it. Okay. Now there's something else that you want to do. Helena does an amazing, actually, let's use her as a dugma.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Yes.
I'm nervous.
You do a really good job. And actually Helena's far more active than I am. So what does she do? She status tagged her own business. And in this case, she didn't do it, but often what she does.
If you go to the next one, I've done it. I've tagged loads of people in it.
What?
In the post after that one, I tagged loads of people.
This week?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
She wants, yeah, exactly. Do you know when Helena is doing this, she's not just being nice. She's not just being nice to say, oh, look, I just wanted to do a shout out to all these lovely people. These people have contacts and connections on LinkedIn, and all of those connections will see Helena's have the ability, will get impressions. The term is called impressions. This post will now have enough impressions from all of the other users that were status tagged on that post. So now your reach is going to be way bigger. Okay, so between hashtags and status tags, you're really going to be out there. Deborah, I don't know if I answered your question fully. What?
Can I ask you a question about hashtags?
Yeah, sure.
Actually, because you found a hashtag and you said it doesn't have that many followers, and another, again, it didn't have that many followers. I've always heard that it was actually better to be more specific, because if you do a hashtag in terms of your business and it has 987,000 followers, you're going to get lost in that. You actually want to get specific, I assume, if people are then also looking for that niche or something that specific, then you will be more readily available for them to find.
101%. But let me just take a step back, okay? You want to shake up your hashtags. You want to have a little bit of both, okay? Now, if the hashtag only has 17 people following it, it's not going to do much for your business. Remember when I was showing you guys keyword research, and I said if you just do the word digital marketing, it's way too broad, but if you add the word agency, then you've created a long-tailed keyword. The same is true here with the hashtag. It acts like a keyword, okay? And in fact, it is a keyword. However, you want both broad and narrow keywords. And you know, like if it's less than a couple of hundred people, then like why bother? Because no one's going to see it. So you still need to have relatively high volume keywords. But yes, I agree. If you're too broad, you're not going to get the right people to see your content. On the other hand, if you want to get picked up by some of the industry related groups, you need to make sure that you're using hashtags that they use, because then they'll have the opportunity to see and share your content. And that's so cool. Okay. I was recently picked up by a big company that showcased an article I did about artificial intelligence. It was simply because I put in the right hashtags, even though it was slightly broad. So you have to figure out what balance is going to work best for you. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All good questions, by the way, folks. Okay. Whoopsie. Okay. I'm sure you guys are all pros at LinkedIn outreach, but just in case you're not, okay? The first thing I want to just say is that you got to do it. It's painful doing LinkedIn outreach. It's embarrassing. You know, we feel awkward, many of us, not all of us, but you just have to do it. You know, you have to get outside of your comfort. I'll tell you, the greatest successes I've had in my 11-year-old company, and thank God we're a successful company, is simply because I did things that were really uncomfortable for me, okay? And that is the tip. If it feels uncomfortable, you're probably doing the right thing. So in terms of LinkedIn outreach, you have an excellent opportunity to search for fantastic connections, okay? Simply without having to use Sales Navigator, there's just wonderful opportunities for targeting. So I list some of them here, but I'll just also toggle back and show you. And again, Helena, whenever we need to stop, tell me.
Yeah, in about 10, probably about 10 more minutes, and then we'll.
Okay, so let's, if I'm interested in one of my niches, even though I work with a lot of big global companies and tech startups, we love lawyers. We love them because they're really easy clients to have to do digital lead generation with. Why, I can tell you about it another day, but we love lawyers. So if I'm trying to search for a lawyer, I can just write the word lawyer, hit search. Then I can go to these sections here. I can do, wait, first of all, let me go to people, my bad. Click on people. So now I'm getting all these contacts of mine that are lawyers. That's all very nice, but I want more information. So I can do it by location, because really I have absolutely no interest in working with Israeli lawyers. I'm only interested in working with North American lawyers. So I'm going to click United States and Canada, and then I'll apply that. So then now my list is dramatically shortened. And I think it's probably going to be best if they're first connections. And by the way, there's plenty of first connections I don't know, okay? But if they're first connections, that they're much more apt to respond back to me and engage with me. So those are the first users that I approach. And then I reach out from there and go to my second connections and beyond. Now, you can't spam users. There's nothing I hate more, I'm sure there's nothing you hate more, than when you accept an invite from somebody and all of a sudden they send an automated spammy message to you. Yuck, okay? Don't do that. Do create a relationship with them by offering up some really helpful, meaningful content to them. You know, you could say, hey, Marie, you know, Nightingale, well, actually, no. You know, I just wrote this article on digital lead generation for lawyers, or I was just in Lawyers Magazine on digital lead generation. I wanted you to check out the article. It's like, oh, thanks so much, Fran. Great, how you doing? Lovely to meet you. And go from there. Build a, you know, hey, we actually do lead gen for lawyers across North America. I'd love to talk to you about it, or whatever pitch you want to do. And build a relationship. The other thing to do is join the groups that the people you're trying to reach are in. Join it, post article content in it, position yourself as the expert in your space. Any questions? Okay, another very easy way to get in front of people and to build out an audience is through email lists. Now, obviously, in order to create an email list, you have to have email addresses. Okay, so there are a number of things. First of all, you'll have a core group of emails. And just remember, just because maybe it's a past client or an associate of a past client, or maybe it's even just a colleague or friend, but all those colleagues and friends and past clients may need your services again and again and again. So they can be your core audience. But then you can also, this is where we would get into some paid campaigns, run certain campaigns where all you're doing is targeting users to capture an email address by offering them something. So let's say in exchange for a white paper, you can download their name and email address and company name, for example. And then you capture those leads and you can put it into what's called an email drip campaign. I know I'm sounding a little technical. It just means a group of emails about your business just to warm people up and let them know what you're all about. Okay, so let's just get back to basics here. So if you do have a website, make it really easy for people to sign up on your website, okay? Make sure there's a form that's visible. At the end of your blog posts, invite people to sign up. In your social posts, invite people to sign up. Have a mobile-friendly pop-up on your site or a chatbot on your site. And again, in exchange for a white paper or an ebook. They want something meaningful in exchange for that asset. And just ask for the basics. Don't ask for too much. Make sure that the content you're sharing is highly valuable. Make sure you have call to actions to learn more in every single email blast. This is the way you're going to grow that email list. And as I mentioned, there's an excellent ad type in Facebook called Facebook Lead Ads, which allows you to collect email addresses. And tools like MailChimp have a freemium version. So if you have a very small list to begin with, no problem, because you can utilize their platform for free until you, I think, hit 2,000 emails, okay? Okay, so I was just like sort of phasing into paid activities, but before we do, I want to just share some really good competitor research tools. Because one of the ways in which we can help to position our own company is to see what our competitors are doing, okay? So there's a fantastic tool called the Facebook Ads Library tool. If you want to see what your competitors are doing in Facebook ads, you know, we just mentioned Facebook ads, all you simply need to do is type Facebook Ads Library tool, I think, something like that. Ads Library, okay? So you go here, and you know you want to find out what your competitor's doing. So in this case, I was comparing a competitor of one of my clients who is a world-renowned cosmetic surgeon. Okay, but he had this guy in Maryland who was a competitor, and so I wanted to see. Actually, I think he didn't have Facebook posts. Skip that. I'll take you to another competitor. I have a client in New York City, a very large co-working space, and I want to see what one of their competitors is doing. So I'm going to go check out WeWork, but I also want to make sure I'm checking them out in the right country. So I'm going to go to United States. And now I can literally see what WeWork is doing, what types of ads they're generating, active and inactive. I can deliver by region, by platform, by impressions, and I can see what type of posts they're doing, what kind of language. I can see how much they're spending. I can click to their landing pages. Okay, so use Facebook Ads Library to do research about your individual competitors. You can also do the exact same thing, in LinkedIn. LinkedIn also has a competitor tool.
Can I ask a question about that ads library?
Talking?
Gaddy, I think, is talking.
Okay, great.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
Paul.
yeah. Can I ask a quick question about that? About the ads library?
Sure, for sure.
Hello?
Yeah, you can.
Can you see what your competitors are targeting?
No, you can't, but there's other tools that will help you to sneak peek at that. I use a tool called SEMrush, SEMrush. It doesn't allow you to see what audiences they're targeting in Facebook, but it does allow you to gain insights into who they're targeting in Google Ads. Okay, there are other tools that give you some insights. Right now I'm using a tool called Ahrefs, A-H-R-E-F-S, which allows me to also look at a lot of competitor data, meaning audiences and stuff like that. But in LinkedIn and Facebook, the free competitor, the free ad tools, they're basically were created there for transparency, for something called ad transparency, but it's been a boon for marketers because we can now spy on our competitors.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, also, if you go to a competitor's LinkedIn page, you'll see on the left-hand side a little nav bar, and it will say ads. If you click on ads, okay, it will allow you to see, it will allow you to see your competitors' ads as well. Same thing, you can click to their landing pages, and you can just see what they're doing. And this is a really important activity to see what are the messages that they're using? How are they pulling their customers in? What is the wording that they're using? Is that something that, you know, and you can see if it's performing or not based on engagement on that post also. Okay, how are we doing for time?
Yeah, we can start wrapping up soon.
Start wrapping things up. Okay, let me just see what other juicy stuff I've got here. Oh no. Okay, I want to talk about two sort of related things, and that's using chatbots. So Facebook has a really cool ad type called Facebook Messenger, okay? Which is, as we all know, whoever uses Facebook, you can message, right? But there's actually tools that you can use within Facebook. There's an ad type called Facebook Messenger ads, which allows you to have a conversation with your customer, okay, in a chat. And why would we want to do that? Because this is the way in which almost every user wants to communicate right now. And they feel like even if they know it's a bot, they feel like they're having a more personal conversation with you, as it were. And also you're able to feed more personal information. This is supposed to be live, but I don't think it is. Okay. Basically, you know, you can ask particular questions to get particular types of information. I use this for lead generation all the time. Okay, and you can test almost any type of visual asset, video, website ads, whatever. Instead of clicking and going to a landing page, it will open up a pop-up, a chat bot. Extremely, extremely effective. The conversion rate is something like for us, is something like 13.5%, which is crazy high for ads. Okay, and it's not an expensive ad either. And one of the other, and by the way, whoever was asking me about B2B targeting, Facebook has excellent B2B targeting. You can target by job title and by industry. The one thing Facebook doesn't allow for is the company size. That's the one thing LinkedIn allows and Facebook doesn't. But the cost per click on Facebook is about 1/6 of the cost on LinkedIn. So if you can find your audience and engage with your audience on LinkedIn, you should. Okay, now I'm going to jump, although I'm skipping all this great stuff, because I want to talk about one other thing, and that's chatbots. For anybody who has a website, another excellent way to qualify your leads, to make sure that they're the right type of customer and you're not going to waste your time, is to set up a chatbot. So for example, let's say you're offering financial consulting, but really you're only interested in people who have a net worth of, you know, $100,000 a year or more. You simply create a chat flow, it's called a conversation, where you can filter your customer, where you're asking them questions that will weed out those users that aren't the right fit. You can give them something else. You can give them some really helpful content to lead them on their way and give them benefit. But then you can also take that group of leads that are qualified and nurture them in whatever way you want. And it has many, many other possibilities. It's an excellent customer service tool. And it's just a really, really smart way to engage with users. I'm going to stop here because even though there's always lots to talk about, I think I've talked my way to the end of my opportunity here. But we can share this deck, and you can always reach out to me with questions.
Thank you so much, Fran. Does anyone have any questions?
I have one more question, if that's okay.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so Fran, I've just connected with you on LinkedIn, thanking you for this awesome presentation. My question has to do with reaching out to people. I've been taught to reach out to second and third, tier leads, and engaging with them and not getting so much engagement from them. So for example, if I were to reach out to you, because I feel like you might be connected to some of my ideal clients, high achieving entrepreneurs, what would you want to see me give you as value in that introduction so I don't put you off and so that you might be interested in engaging with me? Do you have any ideas?
Many. And it's all about offering real content. Like I refer to it as gated content, meaning you're, I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, I don't know why I also I'm hearing everyone's echoing. Not at my end.
I would say the stuff that you would even give to a potential new client for pay, you need to give some of that for free. Give some of your great, valuable information, and it's a teaser to let them know. Not only is this valuable, but if you work with me, it's very disconcerting being hearing my voice over guys. But so I use ebooks and I use white papers. I give really juicy information.
And so that would be acceptable to you if I introduce myself and said, here is my gift. On that first contact.
You could say, look, I see we're connected. We're both in the same LinkedIn group, and I see you've been, writing about this topic, and I thought you might find this interesting.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely. It's about building a relationship. If you spam, no one's going to respond. We've tried it all, really, over the last 11 years. Learn from my mistakes.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Anybody else?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fran. As always, that was fantastic. Your wealth of knowledge, and every time it just blows me away. I'm now going to put everyone back into breakout rooms. It's 10:21. I will bring you out at about 10:35, 10:40, but I'll give you notice when I do so. Fran, I haven't put you in a breakout room. So in 3.
Do you want me to stay in a breakout room, or do you want me to?
Up to you.
Your call.
Do you want to be in a breakout? Do you want to be in a? For the moment, not. We'll figure it out together.
Okay, so I'm going to mute myself in case you need me. I'm going to go back to work, but if you need me, I'm going to keep myself on the call.
Oh, so. Gazi, you should also be in a breakout room. You're muted.
I haven't been sent to any breakout room.
Oh, really?
Once I
Lynn, I'm going to hang up. You don't need me.